With elections having been announced, the dates, we are now learning that just ahead of the elections in Jammu and Kashmir, the NC has now pledged to restore political and legal status via Article 370. They will redraw Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act. The dialogue between India and Pakistan is also going to be one of their top focus. There will be efforts to release the political prisoners of Jammu and Kashmir, restoring normalcy, repeal PSA, rectify sacking of employees, even unnecessary harassment to people on highways is going to be stopped. This is what they'll be working towards. A comprehensive package for the youth is what the National Conference is also promising. But remember, there was a lot of talk and chatter about whether or not the Valley parties will be pushing for the abrogation of Article 370 as one of their top priority areas. It does seem like, from what the NC has just now announced, they have pledged to restore the Article 370, and they will in fact be also redrawing the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act. They will also be working towards a dialogue between India and Pakistan. They are also talking about making more efforts to release political prisoners of Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, many of those political prisoners continue to be separatists and secessionists. According to NC, they will be restoring normalcy. How will they do so? They will also repeal the PSA, rectify the sacking of employees. In fact, let's quickly go across to Ishan Vani, who's bringing us that breaking input. Ishan, till last week, this is exactly what we were discussing in terms of how much of a priority will be placed on the abrogation of Article 370 by the Valley parties. You have the NC now.
Well, absolutely right. The National Conference first point mentions the abrogation of Article 370 and the way to restore it. This is something which has been on the National Conference's mind since a very long time, and ever since, even in the last Lok Sabha elections, this was a main political picture from the parties. We have seen that National Conference today come out detailed. Behind me is a press conference taking place of Omar Abdullah speaking to the media, and he has told categorically that they would remind Supreme Court of the promise that they have made in the court regarding the statehood and the restoration of statehood if the state is not restored. Because there's a question asked that how will really the assembly be able to function when the power lies with the lieutenant governor, and there will be a lot of tussle. But Omar Abdullah was categorically clear that they will move to the Supreme Court. But yes, 370 has been an integral part of National Conference's manifesto. We have seen it in the past also. They have talked about protecting 370, and now they are saying that they will protect 370. It was the BJP also today earlier morning said that they knew that 370 will be part of the National Conference's manifesto, and they wouldn't be surprised if there is a mention about 370 restoration. And that is there. Apart from these promises, National Conference has made a lot of promises about electricity, giving relief to people, free education, and other promises that have been made. But the prominent is the restoration of statehood, 370. And Omar Abdullah had recently told at New Delhi-based channel that they would want to pursue, they would pass a bill regarding the restoration of Article 370 in the Assembly when it starts to function. Now, there are 12 points that has been divided, that this manifesto has been divided into. One has to wait and see, then see the detailed manifesto, like what really they have talked about. What are the detailed, main points which can be controversial, where the BJP would definitely lay its fingers on the National Conference.
Right.
National Conference.
Ishan, I'm running short of time. Quickly tell me, has there been any mention of providing greater employment to the youth of Kashmir? What about addressing electricity issues? What about the crumbling health infrastructure? Has there been any talk about all of these burgeoning issues in Kashmir?
Well, absolutely right. That is the fourth and fifth point of the National Conference's manifesto, where they talked about providing 200 units of free electricity and providing quality water to people, and also free education, and giving an employment package to the people. But the main question that revolved around this press conference is that how will they be able to do it? Because a lot of powers are vested with the lieutenant governor. So how can the assembly, which is a UT at the moment, take all these decisions on their own? One of the important points also to mention here is that they have talked about restoring peace through dialogue between India and Pakistan. Whether that will happen or not, that's a later question, but that is part of, again, the manifesto that the National Conference is right now releasing behind me.
We'll have to leave it at that. Many thanks to you, Ishan, for bringing in all those inputs. And with that, it's time to cut to a quick break. We'll be back with more breaking inputs. Stay tuned to CNN News 18.